do you feel, George?
We're supposed to be at 10?
Yep.
Okay.
Will to do so. It doesn't happen. And that is a real shame. Those are changes that should be and could be made very easily. And I've said this story time and time again. One of the ladies who presented at our committee hearing, her husband passed away over 2 years ago. He had signed his organ donor card. When time came that he passed away, she could not carry out his wishes. To this day, 2 years later, she's having a terrible time getting over the grief of the loss of her husband, because now her head is ruling over her heart. At the time of his death, her heart was ruling over her head. And now she says, because I didn't carry out his wishes, I'm having a terrible time saying goodbye. And that's just a simple example as to how important this is. So, I mean, there's no greater thing you can give to someone. You can be a volunteer for life and of life if you sign your organ donor card. And I truly hope more and more people will make that sacrifice and understand that at least up to 6 organs can make 6 other people see light through your loved one's eyes. And that's something that is a cherished memory that will certainly help those grieving families, I'm sure. And we have many people here in Strathroy, some of us here with us today, that certainly can attest to this. They walk in the shoes. I haven't, but like George, they've walked in the shoes and certainly have more heartfelt and different viewpoints. Once you've walked in the shoes, you have a different disposition as well. So I thank the Mayor for welcoming George to our town, but that's the way our Mayor operates here, so it's a pleasure to be a part of it. Thank you.
Stuff the this will be our final
Experience? Wrong.
miss you.
Yeah, no, you're going to get rid of me today. Yeah. London, we've got some good colleagues there, and I'm sure they'll be as receptive there for you.
Yes, they will.
Just shows you how big my writing is.
Yeah, they did a story
I
on
pop
Rick
up all over.
in 90.
Could be.
At that time, we were waiting for a member. That was our first call.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't for a few years, does it? Take care.
June 20th at Toronto.
Yeah.
And we had a ceremonial lighting of the torch there at the City Hall. Not last one, actually, was the first to light it. And afterwards, he massaged my feet.
Okay, I'll drive the vehicle back and I'll take the...
He should have got out more, because I was, you know, maybe it will. Maybe it'll pop
No,
up.
it's all right. I came in behind you, actually. I was running a little bit. I was trying to get away a little.
But he was holding his nose.
But anyway, it's unfortunate. You guys are going
Around the Agra region,
Good idea.
as well in St. Over here, and then I went along Highway 3 through Albert and Norfolk, to Lebanon, and I climbed up to Sarnia.
Yeah, we'll see you all. Take care.
Now headed east towards Ottawa, and then come back south to the Georgian heartland, and go up north again to Kenora. And that'll be 5.5 months. So we're going through 214 communities in Ontario alone. And the idea is to reach each and every community in Ontario. And then we'll head out west to Vancouver. And at Vancouver, we're going to hopefully have a Hercules waiting for us from the Air Force. And that'll take us around the world. And we'll be in probably, you know, for 2 days, we'll probably make some stops and then get dropped off at St. John's, Newfoundland, and then finish the rest of the way back to Toronto. So it kind of has a global effect. I think we're going to have other countries looking at us, at what we're doing here.
500 and how many days?
27 days, and we have 491 press conferences scheduled, such as this one. So it's not a day without rest. I guess I learned how to pick up the momentum for this, and the things necessary to accomplish some of this from the Ontario law.
Yeah, last year's, how many days was that? A couple hundred?
96.
96.
Yeah, and I did 3,775 communities. I mean kilometers. 3,775 kilometers altogether. This year's is over 12,000. Yeah.
They should have all done that.
They should have been.
Is that $25 million goal? Is that what you...
No, it's 25 million steps.
25
We
million
figured
steps.
it out from my stepometer. It's actually more closer to 24 million. Give me a million steps. Yeah.
You're going to be standing around here for a while, so it's going to add into the...
Exactly. See, they don't count that.
Yeah.
They don't count how many steps you take in one circle either.
No, right. I go around in circles a lot.
So, how much money have you raised so far?
Now, so far, we've still, it's a big financial challenge for us. We have to try and meet a $300,000 budget to complete this effectively. We focused mostly on putting the logistics and all the events together. And, we actually took on our fundraising drive 3 weeks before our kickoff. And right now that's our biggest challenge, is to raise the necessary funds so that we can meet all the expenses, and we have a working budget of about $300,000. Now also, as we're going through each community, we're passing resolutions, and each resolution is entailing to form a committee so that we can have an annual step-by-step walk, and that committee would all year bring all the different sectors of the community involved, to do that walk. And we're hoping to have 491 resolutions passed. And I think that's is going to be a really effective step in the right direction, to have 491 chapters of step-by-step with programs going on in each community, bringing the much-needed education and awareness. And of course, we're going to be rallying to get this national registry created. I'm going to share something that's very important. I think this is becoming even more of a moral question of the day, because we have to think about a Canadian's freedoms and rights. And if me or you or anybody else thought about organ donation and thought, that's what I want to do. When I pass away, I want to make sure that my organs get donated so that lives can be saved. And to have that not take place is that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. So what we're trying to do is also have Canadians really think about that, and that is sort of our determination to really get the government to act on this national registry, and it would be created under the similar lines of a will, where we would need credible witnesses when you're registering your wish, and you would have to be in the right state of mind and all that. Yeah. And the registry would take a little bit of time for families to get used to, but families should respect the individual's wish, and the process of asking the family at a bad time is wrong.
Yeah, it's too late then. Yeah, it's too late then.
Yeah, because what Rosemary stated about the family that she talked to that just has some tremendous regrets. I also talked to hundreds and hundreds of families that vetoed the decision, And all of them shared the same thing. If they were asked a week later, they would have said yes. And they all share a lot of regret. So why do we have this system where we're approaching a family at a time of shock, you know?
I think a lot of people still, they think, you know, until I met you last year, and I signed my driver's license, that takes care of it. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Didn't know it could be overturned.
So I think this is why I'm, you know, added in that extra awareness to people, so that they can realize what's really going on, and, you know, and why we're so low, and that we can do something about it. You know, like we can make the positive changes, and it's taken a grassroots organization to be perfectly blunt to do it. You know.
So you're trying to get the donor card on the back of the driver's license renewed, trying to get that put back on?
No, we're trying to do away with that whole thing. We're trying to create a registry where people, they can register their wish, and that would be put in a data bank. And upon your death, ambulances and hospital officials, that would be the first thing they would click on the computer, is to see if you registered, or you're a registered donor. And then they would act on that, the hospital, immediately. You know, and that would also save on, sometimes there's a time limit with the organs, that would also save on that procedure. And you know, it's the whole other moral ethic question of a person's rights and freedoms of his wishes.
Let me ask you a question. When somebody passes away and they go to donate their organ, how long does the organ actually survive?
Up to 2 days. Sometimes it's less. You know, it depends on you know. So, but on the average, it's usually within that day that they have to act on it. Yeah. So there's more there's technology and facilities that hospitals can use to prolong the organ, but not all hospitals have that. So you might have an organ at a certain hospital that doesn't have the facilities to prolong the organ. So, you know, so we look at within a day mostly as the average. We should get the organ available and destined within a day. Now, you know, after I finished the walk, what the Premier did in September? Oh, okay. In September, he was actually following me, because I kept you know, he kept hearing what I was saying, you know, because I kept asking him to get involved in this. And he phoned me in September. He personally phoned me. And he asked me how I'd feel about being acknowledged in the throne speech for what I did. You know, and of course I said, yeah, I'd be really happy, because this was going to be a great opportunity to, you know, reach our goals. And more importantly, it inspired him to create the Premier's Advisory Board, you know, which he chose Don Cherry as the honorary. Now, that's the reason why you've, the publicity part of this has raised in the last 8 months. You've been hearing more about organ donations, and it was because of that. So he made an announcement about a week and a half ago about some of the steps that he's taking with this Premier Advisory Board. Now, those are much needed steps, you know, to put more money into organ awareness programs, and to have a referral system. But he forgot to mention about the registry, which I'm going to talk to him about. Yeah. So I'm actually going to try and get him to one of our press conferences, and afterwards we'll talk, sort of thing. And you know, along with that note, we're also pursuing the federal government, you know, with the help of Rosemary and, you know, other MPs and people that.
Great. We're up to now rest.
Yeah, we're actually lunch was one thing that's going to be on the agenda. Yeah. Also, we're looking for accommodation, so we're going to check out that campsite and see if we, do you know which one?